Okay, right. Welcome to Off Lead with Stuart and Emma, episode 5.
It never is episode 5.
Episode
We've done
5.
5 of these.
Crazy. Episode 5 already.
This is a bold one, isn't it? Because it's Friday, so we're going to release this today because we've not had time to
this
get
is
together.
basically, we're going to get straight into it. So first off for this episode, we're going to quickly chat about the PSQ from last weekend. So the Team GB sort of, I'm going to say qualifiers, but it was selection process, isn't it? Really, it's part of the
it was the
process.
pre-selection qualifier. Were you there, Stuart?
I wasn't there. No, we watched it on the live streaming at home from the comfort of our sofa.
Did you? I hope you donated.
Absolutely.
Good. Was it good watching it on the live stream?
It was very good, actually. It was really good. It was well, it was well covered, and it was good to be able to watch how, because you even got the changeover, the course changeovers and all the bits and pieces on there. It was always ticking over.
Wow, that was really good.
So yeah, it was good to watch from that point of view, and obviously look at the courses as well, which was good from my point of view, from a training point of view, to see what courses were sort of out there and what they were trying to, I suppose, to teach, or not to teach, to highlight.
To test, wasn't it?
Yeah, to test and highlight.
Skills to test, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to go with what were your thoughts on the process?
I absolutely, really, to be fair, enjoyed the event immensely. I loved the arena. I really loved where it was held. Lots and lots of dogs struggled on the carpet.
I thought that looking at the I must admit, watching the live stream, I was like, because I've trained there at Pure, and I always found the surface was really good for my dogs. I never had an issue.
And I think some did and some found it really good. So for me, what I realized is, so I only did 4 runs, all right. So that all right, they're long runs and everything, but I would like to think that I'm fit enough to do 4 international runs. My legs were absolutely hanging after the end of the weekend, which I was really surprised about. And I was chatting to a friend of mine at training last night. She found exactly the same thing, that our legs were just aching for no apparent reason. It was lovely to run on, but for no apparent reason, you seem to be like really, really stiff after it.
Does that do you think that comes from maybe a bit of tension, like with the nerves and excitement and stuff? So not necessarily physically all the time running, but your body is going to be slightly more tensed up a little bit if you're trying harder.
Potentially, but I do think it was so for me, I don't think I felt nervous enough for it to be a qualifier, to be a pre-selection qualifier, which kind of led me to the fact that, did I want it enough? And I know it's easy to say that, obviously if I'd have got through, then I'd be going of course I wanted it. But I'd had so much going on at home that I kind of like, do I want to go, don't I want to go, just because I wasn't sure whether I was really driven enough to want it. So I was more nervous at Olympia. And the carpet, I'm not knocking the carpet as well. It's just very, very new and very spongy. And some dogs absolutely loved it and some dogs didn't. So that was the venue. So, but definitely, I think it's a lovely venue. Some people were saying that it didn't replicate that they would get, because out when you're abroad, you're always on sand. Does that really come into it? I'm not sure. I think the selection.
I'm sure I've seen international FCIs and stuff have been on carpet. I'm sure.
I don't know. I can't comment. I can't comment, but I've heard that before. People say that sometimes, like when you've got a qualifier and it's like really windy and rainy and all the contact equipment's been taken out, that you actually get the wrong dogs that get through. I remember Stacey getting through to the UKA grand finals. I think it was the CSJ or the challenge, and there was no contact equipment in it because it had been taken out. So I know that happens.
But that's the look of the draw as well, isn't it? At the end of the day, that's.
I think so. Obviously the actual process, I think, is spot on. Absolutely. current management team have got that process spot on.
Good.
Because they, you know, they do you know what I really love, Stuart, is they sat there and they were really analysing. You know, there were so many of them analysing, and they were there the whole time. Obviously you had your win on spots, which are really, really fair. Which I didn't get. And then obviously they reserved the right to call a couple that they liked as well, a couple of days later. So I think the process was amazing. The courses were stunning.
Yeah, they look really cool.
Yeah, absolutely cool. Absolutely tested the dogs to the maximum skill level at speed. And they seem to, so I know sometimes we've spoken about potentially if we run small dogs on a large dog course or large dog, it's not all judges and not all courses loan themselves to that. But I think these courses absolutely were spot on for every single height of dogs. So,
it seemed to be there seemed to be a lot of I think like tunnels and weaves where they they seem to be
tunnels everywhere.
Yeah, they seem to be the sort of the fashion that weekend seemed to be tunnels and weave entries.
Yeah, and so interesting. I was a bit concerned about Kit's weaves. I think, and this again is just being completely honest, I don't think his claws were short enough.
Okay.
So generally I keep my agility dogs' claws quite short, and I haven't been as good as that recently as I should have been.
Okay.
And so he missed every single weave entry, apart from the really hard agility one, which he aced it. But to be fair, I left him to do his flipping job as well, so he did ace it, but he really struggled to kind of come round. And so he was getting the entry and then missing the second, and I thought that I had a toe issue, which kind of put me on the back foot the second day. I nearly pulled him because I thought there's something going on. And then I didn't pull him, and I just overworked stuff, really. I didn't give him a chance. But and I got home, and obviously because there's no sign of any lameness, but there's a process of elimination, and I'm looking and I'm like, your claws are quite long. And I think on that new carpet, that's my fault, again, for not preparing and not thinking. So again, that's a lesson to take forward, that and I normally do for Crufts. I normally make sure that I've got paw wax with me. He didn't slip, he never slipped, but I think he just found it hard, so the claws were kind of really pushing up. Mate, that's what I'm hoping. So from his point of view, I've clipped all the hair back, can't find anything wrong. I'm just clipping the claws like every couple of days just to get them nice and short again. Cool. I took him to training last night and he was spot on with his weave. So I think for him, it was probably my ill preparation, but from an event point of view, an amazing event. Good. And I'm really glad I went, and obviously would be pushing it again for the future. And it's like anything, isn't it? Once you've done an event, you can prepare better for it.
Yes. Absolutely. I think the only preparation, or the best preparation, is doing it. You can do all your your preparation or your pre-exercises and all that sort of stuff. It's the same as what we say about competing when we were talking the other week. Unless you get in the ring, you're never going to know.
No, exactly that. And I've done tryouts before. I mean, obviously IMCA is one day. IFCS is obviously a course of different days. And this is a different process. As I say, I don't think I went with enough drive to go to succeed. And then obviously, you worry about your dogs, don't you? So you're kind of constantly looking and not pushing hard.
Yeah, especially if they've done a couple of things over the first day that they wouldn't normally do. You then start to, like you say, overanalyze slightly and go, okay, and then you either take your foot off the gas a little bit, and that's
your mental attitude changes, didn't you? But so from an event point of view, from a venue point of view, absolutely amazing. But it's the same as anything. Make sure you prepare your dog. It'd be interesting to know, like, I don't know if we've got any comments, but interesting, if people commented on different types of surfaces, whether they struggle, because I didn't struggle to run on it.
No.
But Jesus, my legs felt really tired at the end of it, and I don't really.
maybe like an underlay point of view as well. Like sometimes
it was really thick. It was really
like
thick. It was really spongy.
Yeah, it might be that. Because I know a lot of people that work in sort of factory industries, warehouse industries, those sort of things, because they're on concrete floors all day, suffer with ankle and knee issues and stuff. So a lot of places have like rubber matting and stuff around machinery where if they're standing there for a long time, they have to stand on different surfaces that helps with. So maybe that the underlaying surface or whatever might have been a bit of
maybe I don't know.
It wasn't that far walking from the car park and stuff. Not a million miles away either, is it, from there?
No, exactly that. And it is only 4. I know there were 4 testing runs, but I do keep myself fit, so I can't see that it would have been that, but it's just interesting. And it, again, that's nothing bad against the venue at all. It's just interesting how different surfaces test different things, and some dogs struggle, some dogs didn't struggle, and I ate, and some people probably didn't, so, but well, it's one of those events that you look back and you think, oh God, I wish I'd done better, really,
but that happens a lot. I think that happens more than, we always look back at even a normal every weekend sort of show. Sometimes we get home and go, I wish I'd have done better, or I wish I'd have tried harder.
I wish I'd tried harder.
Yeah, those sort of things. And unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it. So dwelling on it is not going to make an
do you know, and I haven't, and this is kind of, testimony to what I was like while I was there. I haven't even really, apart from Kit's claws, I haven't really had even time to process what's gone on.
No.
Normally by now I would have gone back and look at my runs, which I really want to do. And I usually like purchasing it when it's been on the live stream. I like purchasing it, and it's like, God, it's Friday.
And you haven't even looked. I
haven't even looked.
Yeah. But that's it. I mean, again, that might be pointing a little bit towards, like you said earlier, about maybe not wanting it as much as you thought you wanted it. Maybe.
Exactly.
Which is not
nervous enough.
Which is not. It's not a bad thing. You don't have to. You don't have to want
everything.
No. Exactly.
I honestly, like, looking back, I didn't feel nervous enough, Stuart. I like to think, like, when I'm nervous, I'm like, I really want this.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't feel nervous enough. So, but I tell you what else was really interesting is, like Greg runs these international courses.
Yeah.
I can't even remember, Insight or something like that.
Yeah, International Insight. Yeah.
It's making a massive difference to people running, honestly. Lots of people are saying lots of good things about it. I've not been myself, but looking at the results that are coming out of that, I think it's great preparation.
Good. That's it. That's right then. That's worth
knowing. Because we don't see them in Kennel Club. And then I'm going to be at Kennel Club show like soon, and then I'll be like,
yeah.
I'll be back at like, come back.
Yeah.
Come here, and all that.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it? Courses around. But then we have to put up with that. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Different style courses.
That is what we do. Yeah.
Exactly that. Back into what we said the other week about making a choice.
Yeah.
We make the choice to enter or not enter, or run or don't run, and that's
Yeah. So you better get your butt into action and get there next year. As should I.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll have to try and make a
get in the process. Yeah, that means you'll have to read the rules, Stuart. You'll have to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I did read the rules for the Novice Cup, but I've forgotten them now. Cool. So it was a good event. That's what we wanted to hear, because it looked really cool. It definitely looked cool on there.
It was super cool.
And the comments I've seen, obviously, on the social media posts and stuff, everybody seemed to have a good time there as well. So
I had a really good time.
Good. So going to touch a little bit. Obviously, we're always looking for subjects and topics for different episodes. And we've obviously discussed a few things, and there's a subject that we want to approach.
You want to?
That I want to approach, yeah. But also, I think it's, before I say what the topic is, I think it's a necessity that we get somebody else on board for this topic. So when we mention the topic now, everybody listening or watching this, we really want somebody else to come on. So it's not just us airing our opinion. I think that another voice or another opinion would be,
or even two.
Or even two, yeah. I think it needs, because it's quite a big subject, and it
just get it out there, Stuart. Come on,
it could be quite an emotive subject. So I think it needs, the more people, the better. So I'm looking at, we're looking at, does mental health excuse bad behaviour?
Yeah. And I have to say, I'll be really honest here. Stuart texted me and said, this is going to be a great subject matter. It's going to make or break us. And I was like, yeah, it's probably going to break us.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a hard subject.
I think it's quite a taboo subject,
yeah,
because it's one of those subjects, I believe, that lots of people will have an opinion on, and it's also kind of fits almost into the, if you've got nothing kind to say, then you should remain silent and not say it. So
yeah.
You know, when you're talking about people's mental health, it's real.
Yes.
You know, it is a real thing.
Yeah.
However, and we obviously, you know, we don't want to talk about it now. Does it actually excuse poor behaviour? Okay, so that's why it sent shivers down my spine. And I have massive opinions on this, and I'm sure you have massive opinions.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, what we don't want to do is, or what I don't want to do is, I don't want to, because mental health is such a again, an emotive subject for a lot of people, and I don't want to get, what I don't want to do is alienate people or make people feel that they can't talk about their mental health.
And that's what we're all about, isn't it? We're all about removing boundaries, and people should be able to talk openly.
Yeah.
But lots of people don't, you know, and we can't fix that. It's like the whole hidden disabilities thing, isn't it? You know, people don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely fine as well. But yeah, I think it's a subject that would be good to discuss, but I think it would be, I would feel more comfortable. I wonder, and maybe again we could ask for comments on this, whether we could do it as a complete live.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe that's a good idea. And you know, we could, you know, like, I think we definitely need to have more people on it.
Coming from all angles.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Because it's getting more and more easier, should we say, to talk about mental health, because mental health has been out there anyway, and I think it's now in the forefront of everything that we do, whether it be work, employment, sports. It's out there, and people are more open to talking about it. But there's also, not necessarily in agility really, but in life, I think there's a little bit of something that's creeping in, for where poor behavior or poor decisions and things are, mental health is being used as an excuse.
But then
I don't want that to sound that we don't believe anybody.
So the thing that's popped into my head there as well is, if, you know, we have two different things there. You have clinical mental health issues, so clinical depression, which has perhaps been caused by a stroke or something like that, where the brain has actually come completely imbalanced, or poor life choices which has been caused. And you see, that's the other thing that I'm concerned about. So I'm coming at it from several angles. Is that some people, you can see my body language, I'm like really uncomfortable about this, but some people aren't gonna actually know or have the mental capacity or capability to realize that it is a poor behavior. So I don't want to alienate that type of person either.
No.
Because I feel a lot of empathy, but then I you know, in the past I've had lots of empathy for people, and then just been completely walked all over. So yeah, I think I agree with you that it's a subject that would be great to remove boundaries. I guess what we're asking from our listeners is to, A, do you want us to talk about it? Because people might say, no, actually, do you know what? Let's do something else. And we have got some other things planned as well.
Absolutely.
And we've got some guests coming on, and we've got kind of like 5 or 6. So we may, people may go, and please do comment on this video. No, I don't think you need to. Yes, I do.
And even, like I say, getting 1 or 2 people to either join us on what we're doing now recording wise, or do people want to do it as a live, almost like a live forum where they can come on and chat about, we can answer questions live, or they can make their comments live, or whatever they want to do.
Do you know what I think would be good is if we had a professional. I don't know whether we've got anyone on our page, so whether we had maybe a counsellor, or even a psychiatrist, or even somebody within the mental health industry would be good. So maybe we could put a few shares out on this, inviting somebody. And then maybe somebody that's been, I don't want to use the word victim, but I guess it is the word victim of what they believe was poor behaviour done as an excuse. Do you know what I mean?
I think if we throw that open to,
I think that would make me feel much more comfortable about talking about the subject, is that we actually, it's all right for me and you to sit here going, oh yeah, that's wrong and this is right and that's wrong, don't do that. But actually I think to come at it from an educated point of view would be good. So I guess the questions
I don't think we know enough between us to make any sort of.
I have an opinion, as always.
And
as always, I'm happy to deliver that. And as always, I would probably try and do that in a kind way that wouldn't upset anyone. And you probably would be a bit more brutal than me. But
but I just think I think we just need to have. I definitely think we need to, if we can get somebody that's.
So what's your opinion? Just briefly, just in one sentence. What's the subject content again? What's the title?
Does mental health excuse poor behaviour? Okay,
so yes or no answer?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think it does either. I don't think it does.
Bad behaviour, but then you've got to draw the line at what because
what is poor behaviour?
My level of poor behaviour could be completely different to other people.
I don't want to hear that.
So it depends. Again, it's very individual, which is part of the reason why we think we should get more individuals involved.
Exactly
because
that.
It's an individual. I think poor behaviour, the level is set by an individual. So you might accept certain behaviours from certain people, whereas I would go, I'd never accept that.
No, and I think that I've done that to my own detriment at times. And obviously our titles are removing boundaries. And sometimes I think it is having good boundaries in place. So so I think, do we need to talk about it? Do we want to do it as a live? Are you interested in joining
us? And then we can make a proper
and
time
then we can
date.
make a decision.
Absolutely. I think so. I think that's
perfect.
Okay, so I think that we'll leave that one. We'll wrap up on that. I think, because that's enough for everybody to get thinking and talking about.
And many apologies for not being able to grab sooner and just grab a quick half an hour today.
No, that's fine. Don't worry.
And you're just going to publish this without me watching it, aren't you?
I am. As soon as we've finished and it's processed, I shall put it straight out. So we'll see what. Hopefully, we'll get some good opinions.
It'd be good, wouldn't it? Nice bit of feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Okay. So that's the end of episode 5. Nice and short one today, which I think. Which is good. Thank you for your insights to the PSQ. It's good to know.
No problem.
Where that goes. So we'll see you all very soon.
See you soon. Bye.